Hello, topic of the day is VAT deregistration. Let's discuss how does the VAT deregistration is done. Like VAT registration, VAT deregistration is also an important process which needs to be understood correctly. We have currently seen that in market many businesses had to face penalties due to being not aware about the VAT deregistration rules. So first of all, let's understand what does the VAT deregistration means. VAT deregistration is the process of cancellation of your tax registration number with Federal Tax Authority. Let's discuss what are the process for the VAT deregistration, the timeline for the VAT deregistration and the penalties related to it. So as per FTA law, there are two conditions where a person who is registered with VAT needs to deregister mandatorily. First, when he stops making his taxable supplies. For example, if a person who is making taxable supplies as well as exempt supplies together and at one point of time he stops making his taxable supplies, or when he closes his business, at that moment he is required to deregister with VAT mandatorily. Second, if the taxable supplies of that person is less than 187,500 in last 12 months. So in case if a taxable person is required to deregister with VAT under these two mandatory conditions, then he is required to apply for a VAT deregistration within 20 working days from the date when he met the deregistration criteria. In case if a person fails to apply for a deregistration within 20 working days, then there is a late deregistration penalty for 10,000 dirhams. These two conditions which we just discussed are the conditions for mandatory deregistration. However, if a person wants to deregister from VAT voluntarily, there is an option for it. If the taxable supplies for the past 12 months of the taxable person is less than 375,000 but more than 187,500, then there is an option for him to apply for deregistration under voluntary conditions. So important point for all the taxable person here is to keep a check on their taxable supplies for last 12 months, and in case if the last 12 months supplies goes below 187,500, then deregistration must be applied within 20 working days to avoid any penalties. Now let's discuss the application process. The application process for the deregistration is online. One can apply for the deregistration through the e-service portal. After you log in on the e-service portal, on the dashboard, you can see the deregistration option. By clicking that deregistration button, the form for the deregistration application will open. In the form, the applicant will require to choose the deregistration option. Also, he should submit the supporting documents along with the application. These documents depends on the reason for the deregistration. For example, if the deregistration is applied for the closure of the business, then the cancellation of the license from the issuing authority or the liquidation board resolution will be required to upload. In case the applicant is applying for the deregistration because his taxable supplies for the past 12 months is less than 187,500, then documents such as turnover declaration letter or financial statements will be required to upload. After the application form is submitted, it goes to FTA for a review. FTA might ask for additional documents as supporting documents for the deregistration application. As per the deregistration steps, FTA will review the application and pre-approve the application, assigning you the final return. The applicant will require to file this final return and pay the full amount of VAT due on him as per the VAT law provisions, along with any penalties which were imposed on him in past. After the final return is filed and all the due liabilities are settled with FTA, the FTA will approve the final deregistration. In some cases, FTA might ask for additional documents for further reviews, such as financial statements, audit reports, bank statements, before the approval is granted for the deregistration. I would like to mention here that all the taxable person registered with FTA should closely monitor their activity and turnover so that they can check if they fall under any mandatory condition for deregistration, so that they can apply the deregistration within the timeline and can avoid the penalties. That's all for today. See you soon with another topic on VAT in GCC.